For many Americans, shopping is becoming increasingly expensive. That's because the US dollar, once a symbol of stability and strength, is losing its buying power. When we talk about the US dollar losing its buying power, what we mean is that the same amount of dollars can buy less than they could in the past. The value of the US dollar has been declining for decades. There are many reasons for this. One is inflation, which is the general increase in prices over time. As prices go up, the buying power of each dollar goes down. Inflation has been particularly noticeable in the cost of groceries, as well as gas and housing. Another reason for the decline in the value of the US dollar is the increasing national debt. The US government has been borrowing more money than it can pay back, which weakens the value of the dollar. As of 2023, the US national debt is over $30 trillion, which is equivalent to over $90,000 per person in the country. The US dollar is also losing its buying power because of the rise of other currencies, particularly the Chinese yuan. As China's economy grows, more and more countries are using the yuan for international trade, which means they need fewer US dollars. As the yuan gains more traction, the US dollar is losing its status as the world's dominant currency. All of these factors combined mean that the US dollar is losing its buying power, and Americans are feeling the effects. The war in Ukraine has had a significant impact on the US economy. From disrupted trade to sanctions, geopolitical instability, and energy prices, the conflict has created a complex web of economic consequences. The war in Ukraine is hurting the US economy through geopolitical instability. The war has created a tense and uncertain geopolitical environment, which can affect investor confidence and economic growth. The war is also hurting the US economy through energy prices. Ukraine is a major transit country for Russian gas exports to Europe, and the conflict has disrupted gas supplies and increased prices. This has led to increased energy costs for European countries, which in turn has an indirect impact on the US economy. China and Russia are two of the largest and most powerful countries in the world. They have significant economic and military resources, and they are using them to challenge the US on a number of fronts. China is one of the world's largest manufacturing centers, and it has become a major exporter of goods to the US. This has had a significant impact on the US economy, as many US companies have been unable to compete with the lower prices offered by Chinese manufacturers. Russia is one of the world's largest producers of oil and gas, and it has been using its resources to challenge the dominance of the US in the energy market. Russia has been selling its oil and gas to other countries at prices that are often lower than those offered by US producers. With more and more countries coming out against the dollar, will the US economy buckle under the pressure? Or will the US challenge this new threat? And by what means?